I'm gonna tell you a story I've said. Call me Oracle, I'm talking to you. Perhaps I'll do some more about the anonymity. Getting on to the show you to see. So, while I'm on the subject of vibes, I happen to have finished a couple of vibes. So, in the other way, I got a bunch of stuff anointed to say. So I have like 8 oils that I can use for anointing stuff. And so far I've used like, I went on a run and I anointed a bunch of stuff. Um, all of my little hero sticks. Most of my, the Tara or stars and chakra or circles to make Nananka. I've got 13 put together. I think I might actually have like 15 put together and other because I found 2 other coins that were like special coins that I was like, oh, I'll do these as Nananka since they're already Nananka. But I have the 5 hey 5 different drinks in the places they be. So I showed you this thing earlier. It was like a representation of basically 5 different loka that are just basically they're really close to the physicality. They're basically they're just really close. Um, and generally speaking, they're related to very, very, very easy to understand core concepts uh, like time. Time is one. One is related to time. One is related to essentially death energy. So we have the Harmya, which is essentially like living spirit energy. It's netherworld that's alive. We have Yamasana. Yamasana, or essentially netherworld that's a death place. Pazakava, pandemonium. Um, Rajeta Thistle, or essentially Vidyahara Akaza, face base. Um, and Savannah Akaza, Golden Ether. That's basically like holy place. So you get like the holy place, you get the unholy place, you get the death place, you get the spirit place, and you get the or the living spirit place, and you get the fate place. Those are the 5 places. I also tossed some other stuff on here like Fire Mountain, Poison Mountain. Yeah, Poison Mountain's a thing. Silver Mountain. Um, one of them is Panacea because I thought that was a good idea. Um, one of them is like the All Remedy. Like, there's a bunch of really cool like just mythical medicines, like stuff out of legend. That I was like, you know what? I'll just throw a bunch of these on there because it seems like a pretty cool thing to do. And so there's all of those. But there's also, I found this other thing that I thought was really, really cool. That ties into the core concept of wuxi. Wuxi is uh, well, it's very much a core concept of like the Chayabata and the Saiyan Chiotis, Soldiers of the Light, the Shadow Warrior kind of thing. Um, it's it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Honestly, it's the fables. I don't want to call them fairy tales because it's a lot more legends. They're like the legends of like Shen and the people who could walk on clouds. And I don't mean like fly. I mean they would walk on clouds. It's a very fine distinction if you would see it. But it's like the old legends and China and Japan and Korea. Um, uh, like for example, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is essentially telling of the Monkey King. It just is. Like, there's a reason he's named Goku. Goku is the name of the Monkey King in a Journey to the West. If you've ever seen Sayuki, um, if you've ever seen anything with a character named Goku, it's essentially that sort of genre of the Journey to the West, the martial arts legends, uh, like the people who are so good at martial arts they have miraculous abilities, like jumping so high that they can leap tall buildings in a single bound. I'm laughing about that, but it's essentially like if Superman wasn't an alien, he was actually a martial artist. That's essentially what he would have done. He would have just jumped, not flown, but jumped over a building because he was able to ride the ki currents, just like prana riding. Like if you've ever watched Dragon Slayer, not Dragon Slayer, if you've ever watched Demon Slayer, um, essentially, like I don't mean to be a bee about this, but like they're doing pranayama, like they're like fire breathing, Agni prana. What? That's fire breath. You're doing fire breath. You're meditating on fire while you breathe. It's a pranayama exercise. It's a pranayama exercise specifically that is a meditational exercise for fighting. That is a moving meditation. But that's what it is. It's pranayama. But anyway. Oh yeah. So there's this core concept that I found like in Sanskrit that I've never seen anywhere else. There's probably just like some Vedas about it that I haven't gotten a chance to read because they're like only popular in like India. But um five princes and I tagged each of them to my hand because I thought that like I do a lot of stuff of just like when I find like concepts that work together, especially like core groups. I like tag them together in a way that makes sense. Like if I find something that works together in a good group of five, I tend to tag it to my hand or my foot because it makes it easier for me to remember later. Um, I wouldn't say it's like 100% because when I'm dealing with as much information as I'm dealing with, it tends to run together some places. It tends to, like, I need to reorganize it periodically, but that's just the thing. So, we get first the archer, East Vasa, using their bow, and that's the way of temperance being static but moving, two things at once, that's how they're grooving. And then we get the Lancer, as it were, spirit destiny, that would be that we are. And then we be, oh it be, Lancer be the Zulin, and that would be D. And then we be moving so bearer, near streams the Darina were. And as it were, oh I be, a Rama with the axe, they ain't flipping off ye. And then we get, oh, as I know, monks, seven ring staff, or if they have a bard by the cat, it will burn. Yeah. Speaking of which, here's my monk staff. Because I'm a monk. I have a staff. Anyway. And, fun fact. My grandfather was a Freemason. And, I have a sword. I have a certificate, too, for him. It's like, I guess he was like a big deal. I think he had like the 32 degree mark. I don't know who knows much about Freemasons. I only know a very small amount about Freemasons, believe it or not. But especially for someone who actually like has family who's Freemason, I know very little about it. But the point is, this is beautiful. It just is. Like It just is. And by the way, there are some shady things about Freemasons or about the Masons, but mostly it's not the Masons in general. It's actually only specifically individual Masons who are honestly probably just bad at being Masons. Um, Largely in Utah, from what I understand. But like, it's kind of how like sometimes a couple people give an entire group a bad name, and I think in the Masons case, I know a lot of people try to fix it. I think a lot of times people just try to a lot of times people try to ignore it, which I don't think helps. But I'm not gonna bring it up because I don't want to dwell on it. So I think I'm gonna take some sips off these. Little banana. That's banana strawberry, by the way. Num num. In case you couldn't tell by the fact it's like yellow and orange. This is Hawaiian Samara, Hawaiian breeze, breathing through the weave and the weatherly way. Well, I also finished off the sake, and the like I haven't finished it, but like I had some of the mead. I finished off the beatbox fruit punch and the Mike's Hard like a couple of videos ago, I think. In case I hadn't mentioned it, but I like finished off the sake earlier this evening, and and like actually telling you, like giving you updates of like, yeah, I said I did this, but like, did I actually do it? I haven't gotten around to splitting open the mango pod to actually get the seeds out to plant those, but I got around to planting the lemon seeds. I actually managed to find a dragon fruit like plant at the store that I thought they just didn't have anymore. So I was like, never gonna get a dragon fruit plant in my very own. And mainly, I got some seeds for planting from the dragon fruit that I had earlier. And here, once the review, we got the Aether. Oh, it be parts. Actually, honestly, my closest connection to Aether, straight up, is Buddha, because like that's the Aether is where like the Ascended Masters are like chill. Like I mean, technically they're dead, but they're also kind of like they're more since like this has a lot to do with like vibrations, by the way. So like we are here, and by the way I mean that we are here. That's basically where Monodacia is. But the thing is, like, this is technically at a higher vibration. This is technically a lower vibration, and this is technically at a much higher vibration. But the thing is, because they are technically at those different vibrations, they're capable of coexisting with physical space at the same time as physical space, just without infringing upon it, and unless like someone wants it to infringe because they're choosing to actually like channel from those spaces in order to do magic from one of those spaces. So basically, like whenever I'm doing a blessing spell, effectively I'm channeling Aether. Whenever I'm doing outside of like a blessing context, whenever I'm doing working with Gotia, I'm dealing with down here, dealing with Pezzacabo, dealing with Pandemonium, and like then you have like the spirit places, which is the Harmia, and you have like the death place, which is Yamadesia, Yamasadana, and yeah, those are other places that are like, I mean, they're always connected to here. Like we're always like the dead people, the ghosts are always with us. Like they just are. Like they're here, but they're not. because they're out of a different vibration. And sometimes, like, oh, I'll tell you some fun ghost stories from when I was working in La Petite Theatre at the Vieux Carré. So once upon a time, I worked at the theater. It was I was a stage manager for a production of Dirty Blonde, and I had two, like, I would say, like, first of all, that room, like, there's I don't know who knows a lot about theater, but there's a core concept in theater. Besides backstage, I think a lot of people just understand backstage just without me even having to explain it. It's backstage. But there's a thing called a green room. Green room is a place where essentially you're able to hear green noise, which is a monitor that lets you hear people who are backstage, like actors and stuff, hear things from the audience perspective. That's why it's called green noise, because it's just the full range of everything that's in the audience, and then you can hear it in the green room. And this is so actors can know, like, when they have to be on stage soon, when they can know where, like, the people are in the in the like, generally speaking, in the performance. So, like, they can, like, oh, am I about to hit my cue, or do I have to, like, do I have like 10 minutes to, like, take a walk around backstage, because I'm an like, I have a character that doesn't have, like, a lot of appearances. So green room in that place, it's just, like, so heavy with, like, not just ghosts, but, like, PO'd ghosts. Like, they're pretty much only happy when there is not a performance, but a cast party going on, like an opening night party. It's the only time that place is okay. I'm not even joking. But, like, I think it's just because of, like, buildings pick up ghosts, like they just did. Basically, buildings that have a lot of emotional energy tend to attract ghosts. Not just movies, like, not just like theaters, but movie theaters, churches, not just, like, because of the fact that they tend to be next to graveyards, but, like, that's a very good reason why they would attract ghosts. But, like, churches attract ghosts because there's a lot of people there who are generating a lot of emotional energy, and it's something that they can honestly kind of feed off of and just keep going for a while. A lot of the time, because whatever God is running that place is like, oh, my dead children need energy, and my living children are just, like, giving it off. Yeah, go ahead. Like, that's, yeah, they love you. They're expressing their love for you right now. Go ahead and just, like, feel their love and keep existing for a while. It's all right. I'm gonna touch on this and then I'm gonna get going. So, core concept of dying multiple times. Now, here's the thing. People say, like, yeah, they're still with us as long as we remember them, and that's actually kind of really true. Um, there's the death of the body. Everyone understands that. Then there's the death of memory, when no one really remembers you anymore. And then there's the death of name, when the last time your name is spoken by anyone referring to you. And those are the three deaths, as it were. And just to make it a little bit happy, there's also La Petite Mort, the little death. That's having an orgasm. That's what French people call it. And that's how we do it in the way of the weave. Hope your deaths are little ones, true or we. With the Akashic mic drop to the soft softener. Have a nice night, y'all.